Hey guys, we're here with my old jet boat project. It's definitely worse for wear. It's seen a whole lot better days, but we're going to try to bring it back. I didn't know we'd have to go this deep into the fiberglass repair, paint, and gel coat. I thought I was going to get away with a few stress crack repairs after I saw them this last winter, and then we could throw horsepower back in it and see what it'll do. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So we're here, we're reskinning the whole entire bottom of the boat with a new layer of fiberglass and adding up new layers of 1708 chopped roving matting on the inside. I figured I'd let you guys follow along. We'll re-rig this boat and put it back on the water and see what it'll do, and you know, maybe follow along, make it faster, see what it does. All right, but let's get to it. So what we have here is a 1982 Haskell hull. The boat was very thin from the get-go. Somebody has done repairs to it in the past, the previous owner or the guy before him. I don't know much about the history on this boat other than I've owned it for the last 6 years or so. It was on the water last year, and we were fixing to make some more horsepower this year, see if we could go a little faster, rebuild the pump, do that sort of stuff. Found a bunch of stress cracks in the hull. It made me too nervous to, you know, put it back on the water. I don't want to sink it. So we've fixed all that already on the bottom. We've just laid one layer of glass over the whole thing, and anywhere there were stress cracks, we ground them all the way out, refilled with glass. We're now in the bodywork stage of things, getting everything flattened back out and ready for gel coat. As you can see, I've already sanded all this body filler down. This side I have not. This side is still needing some work. But you can see we used chopped strand mat on the outside, which is just one layer of thin glass. Actually, I have some. It looks like this. So this stuff, you lay over the whole hull, and it just basically stabilizes the surface, puts down new glass and new resin, and keeps any small cracks that I did not see or did not notice from propagating to the surface again. It's not really to add a whole lot of strength. That will come from the inside, where we add a mat, which is, oh, it's this stuff. I have it over here too. It's this stuff. Much thicker, much stronger, and it will it'll add the bulk of the strength of the boat. We're probably going to do at least 1 or 2 layers on the inside. Obviously, the boat's lasted, well, it's 82, so the thing's 40-something years old now. Obviously, it's lasted 40 years. I don't know how much use it's had, but I've definitely driven it a lot. So the hull isn't super weak, but I'd like to add a little bit of strength to it, keep those cracks from ever coming back, and maybe we'll get another 40 years out of this boat. But anyways, let's get to it. I got a lot of sanding to do, and nobody likes to watch that, so, you know, we'll get on to the next thing. We've got this mostly sanded down. It's going to come down a little bit more, get this stuff a little thinner. I've identified some problem areas and sanded them out. We're going to clean them with acetone, get them all nice and prepped, and then we're going to spread some more of this. It used to be called Marson Marglass, and now it's made by 3M, and it's called, it's just a short strand reinforced body filler. It's pretty strong when you use it in thin layers and whatnot. It wouldn't go very thick, especially on the bottom of the boat that you expect to run as quick as we're hoping to run with this. But we're getting there. We're almost there. Got a few places, so let's go ahead, get this stuff mixed up, and I'll spread it out. All right, we got this stuff spread up. I'm learning there's an art to spreading this stuff, and I am not great at it. But it's thicker than your normal body filler because it's got that milled fiberglass in it. Makes it stronger, but it also makes it a little more tricky to work with, or at least it does for me. But we're getting it, and I think I should have that strake pretty well defined after I sand that down. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's getting close to being pretty straight. Whereas this side, I haven't yet got it perfect. It's got some lumps and stuff in it, some highs and lows. But we'll get this side done next. Obviously, we still got more to do in this area. But you can see all the new glass we've laid up and sanded. And then from here, that's just new glass. Haven't sanded it yet. So, still got lots to do. Lots of sanding, lots of fairing. And then hopefully we'll get gel coat on this by the end of the weekend. Alright, while we're here and cleaning this up, I saw something that I wanted to show you guys. This, you can see that white glass in there. All that white glass. This is good, intact fiberglass. This white is air trapped between the fibers, and it's called delamination. Now this boat is real thin in here, and there's been glass added to the outside, but you can see through it because it's fairly transparent once it's all wetted out and filled with resin. So my plan here with all this damaged glass, because it is still there and you can't leave it there. Since I have good glass on the outside, when I flip the boat over, I'm going to grind it down to this new glass that I've laid on the outside. It'll be very thin in this area, but I'm going to grind out all that damaged glass and lay in that mat we talked about earlier. So, just wanted to show you guys that, and this is the reason why I'm doing all this work, because if this were to fail, this is basically the frame of the boat, this and the two stringers inside, all this bottom, and if this starts to delaminate at any serious mile an hour, that could be bad. That could sink us or hurt us even worse. So we'll get this all fixed up, and just thought I should show you guys that before I cover it up. Alright, I got everything all finished up, cleaned up, and gel coated. It did not go well. It was a learning experience. I've tried spraying it, and I got a drywall texture. I was trying to avoid that, and I thought it would lay down flat if I rolled it on there, and that's not exactly the case. I got a lot of brush marks or dimpling from the roller. So this side, I rolled it down and came over the top of it with a paintbrush, a real fine paintbrush, to try to get it to lay down nice and smooth. But it started setting up on me. I thought I was going to have more time to work with this, and I just didn't. So, you know, learning experience. This side, the stuff in the cup that I was using, the mixing cup, it started coming out in chunks, so I knew I was in trouble, and I just got it all out on there. Whether or not that was the right move will be seen later. When I go to sand this back down, I'm going to sand all the high spots off of it, see what it gets me, because this gel coat has surfacing wax in it. I thought I was going to do it all in one coat, but that's not the case. So we're going to sand all this down and give it a good acetone wash, get all that excess surface wax off if I miss anything in it. Hopefully the next coat will adhere really well. But that's all the time I have for this weekend. So I'm going to let this gel coat set up because it's not there yet. Couldn't sand it if I wanted to. And I've got stuff to do before work tomorrow. So if you guys want to keep following me on this project, see how it turns out, see how it runs when we get it back on the water here in a few months, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.